Welcome back. It's Luna. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm truly happy. I'll do my best to bring you a heartwarming moment, so please relax and enjoy. Day 119, the murder in the silent village. The quiet village. In the distant mountains lies a small village called Kurigatani. With a population of only about 100 people, this village is known for its rich nature and serene environment, captivating those who visit. However, the peaceful daily life began to darken one cold winter morning. In the central square of the village, residents gathered to discuss something. The elderly village chief, Takeuchi, had deep furrows on his brow. For something like this to happen in our village, everyone seemed unable to hide their shock. At the end of Takeuchi's gaze lay the frozen body of a villager. With the first murder case, the village was instantly engulfed in fear and confusion. Who could have done such a brutal thing, and for what reason? Until the police arrived, the villagers were plunged into mutual suspicion, and the once calm village scenery changed completely. The first murder. The victim of Kurigatani village's first murder was a young man named Makoto Sato. He was kind to everyone and didn't seem to have any enemies. There were unnatural marks around his body, and since there were no signs of a struggle, it was clear that the crime was premeditated. As the police arrived and the investigation proceeded, the villagers were questioned one by one. However, everyone claimed to have no idea about his death, and no clues were found. The village was shrouded in anxiety and fear, and as night fell, everyone stayed inside their homes, avoiding going out. In the midst of this, a detective appeared in the village. His name was Kichi Kanzaki, a renowned detective who had solved numerous difficult cases in the city. He had been called upon by village chief Takeuchi to uncover the truth behind the incident. Kanzaki began by observing the village and talking to the residents. He carefully investigated the village's history and the relationships among the people, gradually revealing the background of the incident. As he noticed the suspicious points and continued his investigation, hidden secrets of the village began to emerge. One night, Kanzaki was going through old documents of the village. There, he found records of a tragic incident that had once occurred in the village. He began to suspect that this incident might be connected to the current murder case. The next day, Kanzaki spoke with the villagers again and delved deeper into his investigation. He heard an interesting story from an old man named Tanaka, who lived on the outskirts of the village. Tanaka spoke of an ancient curse that had been passed down in the village. Whether it was mere superstition or truth, Kanzaki needed to find out. The detective's arrival. Detective Kichi Kanzaki continued his investigation to find clues to the case, carefully examining the village's history and the relationships among the residents. He spoke with many villagers, including village chief Takeuchi, to explore the background behind the incident. Kanzaki particularly focused on the people Makoto Sato had interacted with last and meticulously examined his actions that day. One day, Kanzaki visited the old village church. There, records and documents of the village's history and past events were preserved. Among them, he discovered records of an unresolved disappearance that occurred decades ago. He began to suspect that this case might be related to the current murder. As his investigation progressed, Kanzaki uncovered the complex relationships and past conflicts hidden among the villagers. Although Makoto Sato seemed peaceful and not the type to make enemies, it gradually became clear that he had undisclosed secrets. Mysterious clues. Based on his discoveries at the church, Kanzaki continued his detailed investigation. He talked to Makoto Sato's family and friends, delving into his past. It was revealed that Sato possessed an old document. The document detailed a curse passed down in the village, and he had been trying to decipher it. Kanzaki obtained the document and carefully attempted to decode it. The document described the village's history and an ancient temple that once existed in the area. Moreover, it mentioned a powerful curse placed on the temple, which might be connected to the current case. Meanwhile, some villagers believed in the curse's tale, while others dismissed it as mere superstition. Kanzuki calmly sought the facts to get closer to the truth of the case. One night, he decided to visit the old temple ruins. Arriving at the temple ruins, Kanzuki thoroughly investigated the surroundings and found several strange clues. These clues connected the past disappearance case with the current murder, convincing him that this location was central to the incident. That night, Kanzuki went to speak with village chief Takeuchi, seeking his knowledge and experience. Takeuchi, who also knew much about the past incidents, agreed to cooperate with Kanzuki. He muttered, "There are too many hidden secrets in this village," as he offered his help. False testimony. During their investigation, Kanzuki and Takeuchi realized that some villagers were giving false testimony. Several people's accounts surrounding Makoto Sato conflicted, suggesting they were hiding something. Kanzuki decided to re-interview them. First, he spoke with Sato's close friend, Yamamoto. Yamamoto's testimony contained many inconsistencies, and as the questioning deepened, he began to show unnatural behavior. Kanzuki didn't miss his agitation and pressed further. Yamamoto finally revealed that Sato had discovered something important about the village's old traditions. Next, they questioned Sato's family again. His brother, Ken Sato, revealed that Makoto frequently visited the temple ruins but was reluctant to elaborate on the reasons. Kanzuki suspected Ken's attitude and decided to dig deeper. As Kanzuki and Takeuchi re-evaluated the villagers' testimonies, they gradually approached the truth. They were convinced that those who lied were hiding crucial information and devised a plan to extract it. As it became clear that the false testimony was to conceal the truth, Kanzuki and Takeuchi began to gather the clues needed to uncover the truth. Revelation of the truth. Kanzuki and Takeuchi continued to seek evidence to connect the past incidents and the current murder. They aimed to uncover the truth by examining old village records and residents' testimonies. Finally, they succeeded in obtaining decisive evidence. The evidence was an ancient document found in an old box buried at the temple ruins. The document detailed the village's secrets and the ancient curse, showing a direct connection to the current case. Kanzuki decoded the document and became convinced that Makoto Sato had been targeted because he had uncovered these secrets. Further investigation revealed that the influential Yamada family in the village was deeply involved in the case. The Yamada family had been working in the shadows to protect the village's traditions and secrets. They saw Sato's discovery as a threat to their status, leading them to murder him. Kanzuki headed to the Yamada residence and discovered traces of a secret ritual. The ritual, described in the documents, was intended to lift the curse and was tied to the village's long history. Kanzuki collected the evidence and reported it to the police. Members of the Yamada family were arrested one after another, and their involvement in other incidents was also investigated. The village was finally freed from the long-standing fear and curse. Thanks to Kanzuki's efforts, the truth came to light, and the village began to regain its tranquility. The arrest of the perpetrator. Thanks to Kichi Kanzuki's efforts, the Yamada family's conspiracy was completely exposed, and the involved members were arrested one after another. It became clear that they had murdered Makoto Sato and were involved in other incidents to protect the village's ancient secrets. The series of arrests to restore the village's peace shocked the villagers but also brought relief. Kanzuki expressed his gratitude to the villagers for their cooperation and proposed holding a gathering to celebrate the resolution of the case. Village chief Takeuchi agreed, and a large-scale gathering was held throughout the village. During the gathering, the villagers vowed to unite again and move forward into the future. With the case resolved and the perpetrator arrested, village life began to return to normal. Makoto Sato's family also decided to live positively, overcoming his death. Kanzuki, impressed by their resolve, spent time discussing deeply with them before leaving the village. Returned to a peaceful life. Months after the case was resolved, Kirigatani village had regained its quiet daily life. The villagers helped each other and lived peacefully as they had before. Kiichi Kanzuki returned to the city, busy solving the next case, but he occasionally remembered the events in Kirigatani village. Makoto Sato's family started activities to preserve the village's history and culture, continuing his legacy. By advancing research on the ancient documents and ruins he discovered, they aimed to understand the village's past and use it for the future. The village youth also participated in these activities, and the entire village took a new step forward. One day, Kanzuki received a letter from village chief Takeuchi. The letter stated that the village had regained its peace and that the villagers were cooperating to build a new future. Kanzuki read the letter and felt genuine joy. He decided that if any problems arose in the village again, he would definitely come to help. Kirigatani village regained its serenity and beauty, and the villagers spent peaceful days. Overcoming past tragedies, they built a new life with hope for the future. Kanzuki also fulfilled his mission as a detective while wishing for their happiness. Thus, the case in Kirigatani village came to a close, and the village returned to its tranquil daily life. Kiichi Kanzuki's achievements were deeply etched in the village's history, and his name would be remembered forever. Thank you for spending time with Yuna until the end today. I'm very happy. If you enjoyed the reading that touched your heart, please subscribe to the channel and give it a high rating. I will be waiting for you with a new reading tomorrow, so please come again. Have a good night and see you tomorrow.